we will start with the methods available in the dictionary. So first, let's see how we can access one element from the dictionary. Okay, and what happens if you will try to assign a value to an existing key in a dictionary. For example, I have a dictionary called D. Um, Dictionary, uh, details, name, roll number, and mark. So let's say if you want to access the name, so you will write name inside the square bracket, and you will print this. Okay, so it will print the name of the person in this. So whatever the key value associated with this key, it will give you that value. If you will write a key which is not available, it will give you the key error. Okay, for example, if I will write capital N, then it will give me the key error because this capital name is not available, right? In this dictionary, this key is not available. So this is available, it will give you the key associated with it. Now, let's say what I will do, I will try to assign some different value to the existing key. For example, not name, but I'll try to assign marks. Okay, marks may change. So how you can assign this to, if you want to make 65, then what you will do, marks is already available, this key is already available, right? So it will not create a different key. Marks, M is capital, so it will not create a different key marks. It marks key is already available, so the existing key will get updated with the new value. So now if you will try to print the marks, then it will give you the new marks. It's giving you the 65. Okay, so if you are trying to assign a value to the existing key, then the value in that key will be updated with the new value. Okay, this is what we wanted to discuss it here. Okay, now let's see few methods available in the dictionary. So the methods available in the dictionary are dir of if I will check. These all are the methods. In that we are going to discuss all these methods. Okay, so let's see what all these methods are. Okay, for example, first of all, if you want to um, access an element, so you have this option. You can you can give the key in the square bracket with the dictionary name. It will give you the key, value associated with it. There is a method also to access an element from the dictionary. That method is get method. So d dot get method, when you will write, and inside this, the value which you want to access, you need to provide the corresponding key here inside the get method. So I will write name. So it will give me the value associated with it. Okay, so if I will run this code, I will get this. I'm getting this. Okay, so let me comment this 3. Okay, so d dot get of name, I'm getting ABC. So this is the name associated with it. Okay, now here when I was passing a key which is not available, then it was giving me a key error. But here, if you will pass a key which is not available, for example, instead of taking this, if I will do this, so it is giving me none. Okay, so it will not give you, the get method will not give you the key error. Remember, if you are going to pass a key which is not available in the dictionary, and if you pass that key inside the get method, it will not give you the error, it will give you none. And you can specify a default value also here. So if I will specify none, it will give me none. But if you want to specify some message, then you can write that message here. This key is not available. So one thing we can understand from here is this second argument is completely optional. You may not write. If you are not going to write it, then the default value will be none. And if you are writing, then whatever you will write here, that value will be shown here. Okay. Now, one more thing I want to show here is that if you are passing this key, this name and this default value here in the get method, it will, if this key is not available, then it will show this message, whatever you have written here. Okay. And it is not going to update it as a key value pair in the dictionary. Okay, so name and this key is not available. This will not become a key value pair in the dictionary. So if you will run this code, you can see that previous dictionary is as it is. And for the second print statement, you are getting this message, this key is not available. Okay, so it is not creating this key value pair. Okay, so this is the get method. I hope it is clear for everyone.
Yes, Abhishek.
Okay, now we will go to the set default method. Set default method is similar to the get method, d dot set default. Okay, the difference in set default and key method, get method is, see, if you will pass this, okay, if this key is available, in the case of set default method, it will return you the value. Let's say if the key is not available, let's say if the key is not available and if you're not passing the second value, then this will also return you the none. But the difference here is it will create a key value pair in the dictionary. Okay, if you will see, you name, you have not passed the second value, so let me pass the second value. Yes, so set default method creates a key value pair in the dictionary. Okay, so how it will create, if you will pass the second value here, let's say you are passing the key which is not available, and if you're passing the second value here or second argument here, and if you will run this code, then it will create a key value pair. Okay, set. Okay, so it is creating. Now let's say if you will not pass this second value, then the default value is none, so it will create a key value pair with name and a none. Okay, fine, name and a none. Clear? Why? Because the second argument by default is none. If you're not passing, then the it will create an this key value pair. Okay, whatever key you have passed, with respect to that, none value will be created. And if you are passing the second value, for example, if you are passing this value, then it will create a key value pair with this. Okay, is it clear? Get and set default method. Everyone?
Yes.
Everyone?
Yes, clear.
Okay. Now, the next method we have is update method. Okay, so update method, so this get, set default and update method, they all are used to access one element, and update method is to update. Get and set default is to access an element, and update is to update a dictionary. For example, let's say you have two dictionary, one dictionary is also already there. I will take another dictionary, d1 is equal to this is a dictionary. What I will do, I want to update D1 into D, D1 into D. So if you want to update D1 into D, then you will write D dot update and inside the bracket D1. So D1 will get updated into D. Okay. So if you will check D, D will be updated with the content of D1 and D1 will be as it is. Okay. So if you will check D and D1, so D is updated and D1 is as it is. Okay. So this is the update method we have. Okay. Next we have is pop and pop item. Okay, so let's say if I want to remove a random element from the dictionary. Okay, so you may simply write dictionary dot pop. It will remove a random element from the dictionary. Yeah, sorry, you need to pass one argument. Pop item, actually, pop item. Pop item will remove a random element from the dictionary. Okay, and it won't take any argument. Pop item removes a random element from a dictionary, and it will not remove. It will not take any argument, and it will return the item. The return type for pop item is item. So it is returning key and value both. Okay. So whatever item it is removing from the dictionary, it is returning that item. Okay. And pop method is what? Pop method removes a specified element. Okay. So the element which you want to remove, you can mention it here in the, you can mention the key here in the pop method. Okay. So for example, if I want to remove name, so you can mention the key here and it will remove that key value pair, and the return type for pop will be the value. It will return only the value. Okay. So pop item removes a random element from the dictionary and it will return the item, and pop method will remove a specified key value pair from the dictionary. You need to mention the key here and corresponding value will be returned with the pop method. Okay, so this is pop and pop item. Yes, anyone, any question?
Pop without item, na? It will delete last, I guess, right? Last key. And
Pop without key, you are saying?
yeah, pop without key.
No, it will take one argument. Okay.
Pop, it will delete last item, I guess.
No,
Right?
no, no. There is no last element in the dictionary, no?
Oh, okay, okay. It is not in the indexing. Yeah, correct. In ordering. Okay, correct. Okay.
Okay. Now, next we have clear. Okay. So we'll come to that later. Items, keys, and values. Okay. So let's say if there might be some requirement where you want to get only keys or only values or only items. So list of keys or list of values or list of items, basically you can say. So you may need to run a for loop over it, and then you need to append every key in a list, right? Instead of doing that, there is a method keys, values, and item which will return a kind of sequence. Okay, when you will apply keys method, so the type you get is dict underscore keys. When you apply values method, the type you get is dict underscore values, and when you apply items method, you get the type as dict underscore item. But internally it is an iterable. What is an iterable? So an iterable, any sequence is an iterable. Iterable is a data type over which you can iterate. You can run a for loop. Okay, so iterable, any data type over which you can run the for loop, you can say that is an iterable. Okay, so this keys, values, and items will be an iterable. You can think of it as a list. I will show you why I'm saying that. So for example, if I have dictionary D, so if I will apply D dot keys method over here, okay, and whatever value I will get, I will check the type of that first. Now, if you will run this, you are getting dict underscore keys. This is the type of d dot keys method, whatever output you will get here. Now, if you will remove this type method and if you will check the value, so you will get, see, name, roll number, and marks you have got. The type is dict underscore keys, but internally it is an iterable. It is a list. You can see it is in the square bracket. Okay. So if you want to run a for loop, you may simply say for I in d dot keys and print I. Okay, so you will see that it is giving you the key one by one. So basically you can iterate through this d dot keys, dict underscore keys type. So it is an iterable. Okay, fine. So this is d dot keys method. Similarly, we have d dot values method. D dot values method returns a iterable of values type. Okay, so this is the value. You have got a iterable, or you can say you have got a sequence of values. Okay, similarly, you have d dot item, print d dot items. You have got a list of tuples. Every tuple is an item inside from the dictionary. Okay, so these all are the three methods which keys gives you the kind of sequence of keys, values gives you the sequence of values, and item gives you a sequence of items. Okay, items will be kept inside a tuple. So these all are the three methods, and apart from this we have clear and copy. So if you want to clear a dictionary, then simply you may write d1 dot clear, and it will remove all the elements from the dictionary, and it will keep an empty dictionary. It is not going to delete the dictionary, it is going to keep an empty dictionary. So if you will print d1, you will get an empty dictionary. If you want to delete d, then you can simply write del of d. It will remove the dictionary. I have written del of d1, so it will remove the dictionary. Now if you will try to print d1, okay, it has basically removed the reference of the dictionary d1. So now if you try to print d1, it will give you the error, name error, d1 is not available. Okay, fine. Okay, now next is copy method. So copy method basically is used to create a shallow copy. What is shallow copy, what is deep copy? So today we'll discuss about it. It's a good topic. So let's say, first of all, we need to understand aliasing. So it is this method is available in the list and tuple in all these cases. Okay, in the case of mutable data structure, basically. A is equal to 10, 20, and 30. It is true in the case of dictionary also. A is equal to A. Then can anyone tell me what will be the ID of A and B? Whether A is B true or false? Hmm?
Same.
ID of A and B will be similar.
Same. Yeah.
If you will run this code, you are getting ID of A and B are similar here. Okay. Now, why it is similar? Because see, this 10, 20, 30 is a list object. Okay. And A is pointing to this list object. Okay. Now, when you are writing B is equal to A, so you are just creating one more reference of the existing list object. Okay, so B in turn is pointing to this list object only. So A and B are both having the ID of this. Okay, so you will get ID of A and B are similar. Okay, now for example, I will now what I will do, I will take this process is called aliasing. Okay, you are creating an alias of an existing list object. Okay, now what is the problem in this? The problem in this is, let's say if I want to do B0 is equal to 100. Okay. Now if you will print B, fine. If you print A, both has been changed. Okay. A and B both are changed. Okay. So in the case of aliasing, what is happening? If you are creating an alias and if you are making any changes to the new reference which you have created, then it is making the changes into the original copy also. Okay, it is making the changes into the original copies also. Okay, so there might be some requirement where you need to keep the original copy as it is. Okay, you should not make any changes to the original copy. There might be a lot of such instances in real time. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to keep the real copy as it is or original copy as it is, and you have to make the changes into the new copy which you have created. That cannot be achieved by aliasing. So what I will do, I will create a shallow copy. Okay, so how you can create a shallow copy? To create the shallow copy, we have two methods. One is slicing and one is copy method. Okay, now let's say you have A. I want to create a shallow copy, so I will use slicing. C is equal to A colon colon. Okay, now if I will check print C, both will be similar, right? Okay, now let's say now what I will do, I will do print A is C, whether it will be true or false. A is C, or ID of A and ID of C will be similar or different?
IDs will also be same.
IDs in case of A and C, it will be different. Okay, for A and for C, it is different. Okay, and if you check A is C, this is also false. Okay, so what is a shallow copy? When you create a shallow copy, when you copy a list using slicing or copy method, it will not create a new reference of the existing list object. Rather, it will create a new list object itself. Am I clear to everyone? What is happening here? Is this clear?
Yes.
So when you create a shallow copy using slicing or copy method, then it will not create a new reference of the existing object. Rather, it will create a new object itself. Okay. Okay. So if you are creating a new object, then also it will be having a new ID, right? That's why ID of A and ID of C are different, though the content are same. Now, what is the advantage of this? The advantage of this we have is, let's say if you will make any changes to the new, C of 0 is equal to 100. Okay. Now, if you will check C is changed, but if you will check A is not changed. Is it clear?
Hello, Abhishek. Just I missed this point. How where we have started a C equal to A and it is starting from start to end. How does this indicates uh, the immutable property?
Okay. So in the case of aliasing, what will happen? Let's say when you will write this. So there will be a list object 10, 20, first line 10, 20, 30, a list object will be created. Okay. So let's say this is the list and this is the first element, this is second and third. Three elements are there, 10, 20 and 30. Okay, these are the three elements. Now this is pointing to 10, this is 20, and this is 30. Okay, ID of this is, let's say, X. Okay, now, so A is pointing to this X, right? A is pointing to X. Clear? Now, when you have written B is equal to A, so what I said, in the case of aliasing, we are not going to create a new object. This object is already existing, so B will also be pointing to X. Okay, so B is also pointing to the same X. Okay, so ID of A and ID of B are similar. So that's why when you will check ID of A and ID of B, it will come similar, and A is B will give you true. Now, when you are making B of 0 is equal to 100, so A of 0 and B of 0 both are pointing to this location, right? If you're making B of 0 is equal to 100, so what will happen? This previous reference will be deleted. Okay, one new reference will be created. For example, let's say this is 100. This is 100. Okay, and now this B of 0 or A of 0 both are pointing to this one, right? This previous one is deleted. Okay, this reference is not there. Okay, so now if you will check A and B both are pointing, both are having 100 as the first element. So you have made the changes using B of 0, but it has made the changes to both A of 0 and B of 0 both. Okay, so this is what happens in aliasing. Now, what is the case of what is the case of second one, for example? So that was the that was shallow copy. So in shallow copy, what happens? I have written C is equal to A column. So this way you create a shallow copy. Now what happens in the shallow copy? ID of C and ID of A will be different. So let's say what I will do C of 0 is equal to 100. And print C and print A. Okay, let's see that. So you have created a value. You have created 10, 20, 30. So let me make it like this: 10, 20, 30. This is going to be 10. Okay, this is pointing to 10. Okay, now you have what you have done. C is equal to A column. So you are creating a new list object. Okay, so now C will not be pointing to this existing object. It will create a new list object. Okay, this is, let's say, they are pointing to 10, 20, and 30. ID of this is Y. Okay, so C is now pointing to Y. Okay, C is pointing to Y. Now, if you will make the changes of C of 0 is equal to 100, if you are going to make any changes to C of 0 is equal to 100, then this reference will be deleted. Okay, this reference is deleted. A is still pointing to 10, but C's reference is deleted. Now one new 100 object will be created in the memory. Let's say this is 100. This is 100, and C of 0 will be now pointing to this object. Okay, so if you will now, if you will check print C, it will print 100, 20, 30. But if you will check A, so it will print 10, 20, 30. Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the shallow copy. Okay. Now in shallow copy, what is happening? So let's say these all are the single element, individual element. So tell me what will happen in this case? So using copy method, how you can create a dot copy. Okay. Now if you will check print id of c equal to id a, so this is false. Okay. So if you are going to check id of c and id of a, it will come differently. Okay. So id of c is this and id of a is this. Okay. Now, so let's say if I will make, I'll write c of -1 of 1 is equal to 200. So will it make the changes to a also? Everyone, will it make the changes to a also?
No.
Yes. No. Its parent won't change.
Yes.
No.
Okay. So let's see. When I'm running this, so it is making the changes to both c and a. Okay. Now, why it is making the changes? I have created a shallow copy. Okay. Why it is making the changes to the this 20 also? Let's say instead of doing this, what I will do, if I will write c of, let's say 0 is equal to 100. Now will it make this change to a and c both? Will this make this changes will be made to both c and a? No, this will not happen. If you will run this, you can see it is making the changes only to c, not to a. But in this case, in the case of nested list, if you have, then after creating the shallow copy, it is making the changes to both original copy and the shallow copy also. Okay, so now what is the problem here? So the problem here is, in this case, when you have a nested mutable object or nested list or nested dictionary, then in this case, if you are making any changes to the shallow copy, it will make change to the original copy also. Okay, so we might have such requirement where we need to make the changes to the shallow copy of the nested object, but we don't want to make the changes available to the original copy. Okay, how I can do that? So for that we have a deep copy. Okay, deep copy method. How you can use deep copy? So you need to import this from copy, import deep copy. Okay, so you need to write here deep copy. Now, if you will check print, now if you will run this, you can see when you are making C0 it is making the changes only to C. And if you will come here, you are making the changes to the nested object, it is making only to C, not to A. Clear? Everyone?
Yes.
Everyone, is this clear for everyone? Any question?
Once again, deep copy, please.
Okay. So when you have the nested object inside a list or inside a dictionary, then if you will create a shallow copy, and if you're making any changes to the shallow copy, then it will make the changes available to the original copy also. So to avoid this discrepancy, we need to create a deep copy. How you can create a deep copy? You need to write this statement first. You need to import deep copy from the copy class. Then use this deep copy method like this. Pass the list of which you want to create a deep copy in the as an argument to the deep copy method. Assign this to a new variable. A new list object will be created with all the nested list object with the different reference. Okay. So if you are making any changes to the nested list object, it will not be available to the original copy also. So what exactly happens here? So let's say okay. So what we have, first of all, we have created using shallow copy. We have a nested list and we have created a shallow copy. How we are doing that? So let's say we have this. This is pointing to 10. This will be pointing to 20. And this will be pointing to 10, 20, 30. And this is 10, 20, 30. Okay. So this is going to point to this 10, 20, and this is pointing to this. And this is pointing to 10. This is pointing to 20. And this is pointing to 30. Okay, fine. Too many references. Just focus. This is not there. This is not there. Okay. So this is, let's say this is X. You have created a shallow copy and this is Y. A is pointing to X and C is pointing to Y after creating a shallow copy using slicing or copy method. So A of 0 is pointing to 10, A of 1 is pointing to 20, and A of -1 is pointing to this internal list object, and in turn they are pointing to this different 10, 20, 30 object, right? So, and C of 0 is pointing to this 10, C of Y is pointing to this 20, and C of -1 is pointing to the same list object, right, which A is pointing. So if you are going to make any changes, let's say if you will make C of 0 is equal to 100, so it will make the changes here. So this will create a new reference, right? This C of this will, let's say this will create a new reference. This reference will be deleted and it will create a new reference. So it will not make the changes to it. Okay, but when you will come here, so here if you will make any changes, let's say if you are making C of -1 is this whole list object, of 0 is equal to 100 if you are making. So this is pointing toward this. So it will create, this will create a new reference of 100 and it will be pointing to that 100. So if you are checking A of -1 and C of -1, both are similar. The changes are made to both of them. Okay. In the case of deep copy, what we do, we don't refer the same list object as A. Rather, what we do, we create a new reference of the nested object also. Okay, instead of doing that, what we will do, we will create a new reference of this nested object as well. So this will be pointing to this, okay? And they will be pointing to the same 10, 20, 30. Okay, no problem. Because they are the individual objects, right? So we can remove this reference anytime. So now let's say if you will make C of -1 of 1 is equal to 200. So this reference will be deleted and one new object 200 will be created here. Okay, so this change will be made only to C, not to A. Clear in the case of deep copy?
Yes.
Everyone?
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Any question? Shallow copy, deep copy?
Abhishek, can we use deep copy in all the cases?
Yeah, you can use deep
Okay.
copy.
Okay.
Any other question? Remember, this shallow copy and deep copy is available in the mutable objects, okay? In the case of mutable object, because mutable objects are only you are going to change, right? Immutable objects will create a new reference or new object altogether. Clear? So, dictionary and list in both the cases, this shallow copy and deep copy concept is applicable. Okay, so this is about the copy method we have seen, clear method also we have seen. So these methods are completed. Okay, now the next topic in the dictionary is dictionary comprehension. We have seen the list comprehension, we have seen the tuple set comprehension, and now we will see the dictionary comprehension. So dictionary comprehension also creates a dictionary. So how you can do that? So first of all, you need to keep this middle brackets. Then the expression, right? Whatever expression you need to do. With that expression, you will keep one key column like this. Okay. And then you will run the for loop for I in any sequence you may pass. Okay. So this is how you need to write the dictionary comprehension. For example, D is equal to, I would like to write I colon I to the power, let's say 3. Okay. For I in range 10. This is for normal operation if you want to do. Okay, if you will print D, obviously if you want to create some values with every time like this. So you have to write this dictionary comprehension accordingly. Okay, so if you will run this, you will get it like that. Okay, so this is the dictionary comprehension. For normal, or you can say for simple dictionary creation, you can go for this, but when it comes to complex, then you can go for the normal dictionary creation process. Okay, now so the next part is you need to create a dictionary, and what dictionary will look like. Using loop and all. Okay, so what dictionary will look like, I will show you. st1 colon name colon some name you will write, okay, value 1, then roll number colon value 2, comma marks colon value 3. Okay, this is one. Second one, st2 colon similarly this one. Okay, fine. Now st3 colon this one. Okay, and so on. Fine. So what basically you need to do, this is the student 1 detail, student 2 detail, student 3 detail. You need to take this input from the user. Okay, first one is for how many students you want to enter the details. User will enter 3, 4, 5. So accordingly you will append st1, st2 and st3, st4, st5 like that. Okay, fine. Now once it is done, so every time for every student you will take name, roll number and marks. Okay, and then you will keep that value in the dictionary format over here corresponding to st1, then corresponding to st2, then corresponding to st3, and so